Hi, it's Jane, and on today's WOTWIP and Coffee, I don't have coffee. I've got one of those American Clear or whatever they are that Walmart sells. Used to be 76 cents, now they're 86 or 84. You know, no sugar, that kind of thing. In the flavor of peach. And I am going to be working on my knitting on my sleeves. Actually, I need to measure them. Let me see if I can find my tool so I can measure it. See how much further I need to go. Another 2 inches. That's what I was afraid of before I could start the ribbon. So I'm working on the knitting. Hang on, let me see what this is. I sent someone a text earlier about a women's conference. But, yeah. This has been an interesting week, hasn't it? We've had astronauts come back and all kinds of fun stuff. And then we have the morons that are burning all the Teslas or keying them up, which I find hilarious. Why? They should have researched Teslas to find out that Teslas have 7 to 8 cameras on them, so that when anybody approaches the vehicle, it starts filming. So it gets them keying it or starting the fire or whatever they're doing. But here's the thing, that video is automatically sent to the owner, or if it's in a dealership, sent to the dealership. So they've got that recording to just hand over to the police. Nobody said liberals were brilliant, but some of the things that they're doing is just childish. It's immature. And quite frankly, they deserve jail time for it, in my book. You know, some of it's crazy. And the thing with the people at the, what was it, the building, University of Peace or whatever it is, that barricaded themselves into the building, had to be broken into and escorted off the building. The damage that they did, they can be held liable for as well. What you're seeing here is the idiocracy of the liberal left. It really is. He'll be there 4 years. Then there'll be a new president. That's what happens every 4 years. We either get a new president or we get to vote someone in a second time for 2 consecutive terms, which a lot of folks are pushing for Trump to go for another term since he didn't have 2 consecutive terms. But I would think that that's not something he's even remotely thinking about. So I don't know. And then you have all these people that got, quite frankly, if they actually knew the way that Trump talked, they would know that it wasn't him. But they got bamboozled by the video that someone put out using AI. It was AI video generated and AI voice generated. Wasn't his normal speaking voice, which is why it sounds off, because you can record your own voice in AI, but you have to read a script for it so that it gets your voice inflection and it sounds exactly like your voice. When someone just plays a tape for it to, the voice, the audio of someone who was speaking, it manipulates it, but it doesn't give it the accurate tone and texture of their voice. So what was going around, what I was seeing was this video about him saying that Elon was like, what do you call it, Johnny Neutron or Electron, Neutron, something like that. That was completely AI generated. And a lot of folks got duped into believing it was Trump. And they made a lot of statements about it and posting it left and right. Quite frankly, it makes you look like the idiot. But, yeah. And just like, folks that I know that swearing up and down that these folks that were picked up, the Tren de Aragua gangs members that were picked up, they were residents of the U.S. and, they didn't have due process. Folks, they already had their due process. They had their due process in their country of origin, in Venezuela, where they had already been found guilty of murder, rape, you name it, all kinds of crimes. And then they came to the U.S., they had a deportation hearing. They had due process. Biden had put those people up for arrest records to arrest them for the crimes that they'd done in the U.S., but also deportation. So there were warrants for their arrest and to be deported through President Biden. But the Biden administration said they couldn't find them. Trump found them. His administration found them. They followed the cookie crumbs and they found them and they deported them. That's it. And if you watch the video, I gotta tell you, that president in El Salvador, whoo, he does not mind making a complete ass out of people. They show videos where they picked him up at the airport, pulled him off the plane, 2 guards per person, put him on the bus, brought him into the jail with their being, and at one point they were all held down, head shaved, beard shaved, mustaches shaved. They had to tell what their name was and what their crime was. He didn't video what their crime was, but he videotaped all this, put them in their jail cell. So, he's a badass. That's all I got to say. And I think they call him King. A lot of the residents there in El Salvador call him King something. Can't remember exactly what it is. Because of how much crime there was in their country before, and he has literally stopped the crime. So the people there are extremely grateful. And they really don't care how he treats them, how he treats the prisoners, because quite frankly, they all consider it just reward. So, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It is what it is, right? Need to untwist this, need to figure out which way I need to turn. This way. I think that, nope, 2 more twists. All right. Now I'm ready to get back into where I was going. Of course, now I gotta get that up under there because now it's all tangled up. It's crazy. I have been making some cute little dolls, and I'll show those on Monday because I've still got a batch in the back to go through. But they're dolls that I had someone say the nurse that they used to work with in the emergency room or at the doctor's offices, can't remember what they said, called them ouchie dolls, so that when the kids were given a shot or had some kind of little procedure or stitches put in, something like that in the doctor's office. Of course, I don't know if doctor's offices put stitches in anymore. They used to. But they called them ouchie dolls because they're little dolls that they would hand out to them. They're real simple dolls, easy to make. I think the hardest part is drawing on the faces. Of course, you could embroider them if you wanted to. I do have an embroidery for a face, but I just think that's overkill for these dolls because I'd have to use use a backing for it, interfacing stabilizer. And it's just not worth it. Drawing it on with fabric markers or magic markers is good enough. So do have that. I've been making a couple of those dolls. Been finishing up working on some of the cell phone, what I call little craft bear crossbody bags that I was making. My hardware, I don't know what happened to it. It went all over the flipping world. Was supposed to have been here 2 weeks ago. Finally got it Tuesday. So, and I already had other projects I was working on. I've been working on making some menstruation pads for the Operation Christmas Child boxes to go in for the older girls. So, yeah, didn't have a chance to start working on those until just about now, which a lot of it is they're in processes of being sewn. I couldn't finish some of the things because I needed to be able to put the D-rings in, and the D-rings you have to already have them on hand, so yeah, it's just a process. And then I'd found a tutorial that I wanted to try to do. For a reusable popcorn popping bag. So I've got that, on my list to do, and just a lot of things going on. I got the first part of the video for the shawl started. I think I'm gonna release it in bits and pieces, kind of like what I did when I did the wild cow, instead of doing it all at once. I just think that will be a lot easier. So I just need to finish up some of the editing because there's a couple of bloopers in there and need to get them pulled out. Things like Cat jumping on the table and trying to come help me because I film over a tabletop. It's like, thank you, but no thank you. Please go on your merry way, kitty cat. I have noticed there's quite a few more people that I'm seeing on TikTok that are actually crocheting and sewing live. I've also seen someone who does beading live on TikTok, and that's something I have always enjoyed watching. So may continue to watch those. I do enjoy those. And I've been thinking about doing some TikTok live, but I don't know, kind of nervous about that. I know there's a couple of people that actually go live on Facebook, and I wasn't sure that Facebook was doing live again. So I guess they still are. So that's an option too, just to sit and talk live, and then that way at least I get to talk with you guys and get to hear your thoughts and that kind of thing about what's going on. And I always enjoy that. I miss that. Like I said, I've also been cutting a couple more bags that I am doing that are in the ones that have the 6 pockets, an inner pocket on the inside and several pockets outside of it. 2 on both sides. 5 pockets. I had done 6, but I wasn't too thrilled with the way that they were looking coming out. So I'm doing 5 pockets now, 2 on each side, outside, and then the 1 on the inside. Unless I have extra fabric of that print that I can, or opposite print that I can actually do a second pocket for 6 pockets, 2 on the inside. Maybe I'll put 2 big ones on the inside. That's a thought. So that is what has been going on in this household. Although I need to start getting out there. I was laughing because I want to start some basil by seed. And I've got everything, but I just need to get it started. So I need to find a place that I can actually put it where it won't be damaged by cats or once it's able to go outside. One of the ladies that I go to church with was the past president of the Herb Guild, and she gave me some ideas for it to get it started. And once it gets started, how to keep it alive. Because I was joking and I told her, I said, I'm one of those that I've killed air ferns. So and if you don't know what air ferns were all the rage back in probably the 80s. It was a plant you didn't have to really do anything. You only had to mist it with water every once in a while, and it just, as they say, grew on the air. I killed it. So I have been able to have plants. I just joke because a lot of the plants I have, I don't know how to take care of them. And I haven't done the research to take care of them. So, of course, they die. Or I kill them because I overwatered them. Or underwatered them. Of course, the only plant that I didn't have a problem with was my Norfolk pine. I was growing a Norfolk pine, and it was in the pot in the house. The only problem is we had a cat that continued to constantly lay in the bed, and so it was killing the tree roots because they would get too hot. So, and this was when Thomas was alive. So he took a bunch of pencils, sharpened them, put them all around the base, thinking that would keep the cat off the sleeping around the base of it. Cat just slept on the bed of nails or bed of pencils. So we were like, oh well. But it eventually died because this cat just loved to lay in it and sleep in it. And killed the root system. So even when we watered it, the cat would lay in there. She was nuts. But, part of me says, well, we rescued her from the outside, so I'm sure that's why she had no fear of the wetness. Even when we watered it, she didn't care. She'd lay in it with the wet ground, so. So what are you going to do, right? Not a whole lot you can do with that. Just have to work with what you got. So what are you guys working on this week? Did you get everything accomplished that you wanted to get accomplished? I don't think I got everything accomplished that I wanted to get accomplished, but I don't feel too bad about it. This week has been a little on the crazy side. So, that's okay. They happen every once in a while, right? The only good thing is I had Wednesday afternoon off because, evening, because we didn't have Awana. This was their spring break. So, I had that evening off and it was nice. Not so sure I got everything done I wanted to get done. There were a few things I wanted to get done around the house. One of those is switching out my spring clothes. So, happy spring day. As well as get some deep cleaning done, like the baseboards and stuff like that, which I wasn't able to get done. And, but I got some of it done, didn't get all of it quite accomplished. I have always had in the past where I have a routine cleaning set up so that basically I do, like I would do the living room one day, just vacuuming or whatever. But generally I found when I do the vacuuming, it's just easier to go around the house and do all the vacuuming up at once. My office is a mess right now, and I need to clean that up and cut some of the price tags off some of the things I've collected so that I can put them in their prospective totes. I've already started that system, changing out totes and that kind of thing. So that I have like all the stuffies, plush things that I'm making, dolls that I'm making, those kind of things. They'll all go into the one tote. Well, it's probably 2 totes. But, I'll have them all together so I know where they're at and that kind of thing. So that they're all ready to go. For when it comes time for the packing party. And things like school supplies, I need to get those sorted out a little bit better, so I know where they're at, that kind of thing. And then while I was in there in the office, I didn't realize it, but I have 2, like they're about this tall and, about that long totes that are full of scrap materials, sewing scraps that I probably need to go through and either start sewing them together to make different panels for purses, bags, whatnot. Need to start doing that. So there's a lot of, little things that are on my list that need to be done. And those were things I was hoping to get to Wednesday, but, oh, that was real bright, Jane. You're not even doing this correctly. Sitting here yapping at you, not doing it correctly. How about that? I was knitting instead of purling. Which means on the other side it looks like a pearl. How long did I do that? All the way back to there. My goodness. See, some of us can't chew gum and walk at the same time. That would be me. Three more stitches, I did that too. That is funny. But anyway, those were some of the things I wanted to get accomplished. But I didn't get to it because I had someone that needed some assistance. So I stepped out to help, and things did not go the way that either one of us planned, so it just took a lot of time out of my day. But that's okay. Stuff happens. We'll be fine with it. It just means it gets moved to Saturday, right? Or this afternoon. I might be able to get to it this afternoon. Hopefully. No. I have a senior luncheon. Maybe after the luncheon. Whatever happens, happens, right? But that's been a bit of what my week has been like. Hope your week has gone a little bit better than mine. A little more smoothly than mine. I noticed my electric bill, got it this morning. And of course, now that we're starting to get a little warmer, the bill starts going up, which I don't understand. I don't understand it at all, but I quit trying to figure it out. You know, sometimes you just have to deal with what you have to deal with. And I went because my first thought was, well, did my rate go up again? Because, it goes up every once in a while. Some of these you do a contract with and you don't realize the rate's gone up. So I've got to go in and double check to make sure it's the same. And if not, renegotiate the contract for the amount. Of course, that's always fun, isn't it? Renegotiating things. And I'm one, I don't like to do that kind of nonsense, but sometimes you have to. But that's kind of the, seems to be the normal for life these days, constantly having to renegotiate. I know I have a lot of people that tell me whenever their cable bill starts to go up, generally they will call and talk with someone about, where they see these new deals that new cable users get, where they get so much and get this freebie or that freebie. Generally those folks are the type that they'll call and they'll talk about it and work to get it negotiated in their favor. I never stop to think to do that. Of course, one of the things that I've done is I've canceled my cable. So that's saving a few dollars here and there. But not quite enough, so. It just seems like everything just keeps going up and up. And my patience keeps going down and down. Not quite sure where that comes in, how that happens, but it is what it is. All right. Well, I am going to let you go. I think I've talked long enough. Got a couple of things I need to get taken care of. Get on the move before it's time for my luncheon. So I will see you again shortly. But in the meantime, everybody, do something kind for someone or yourself, but do something kind today. All right, see you soon. Bye.